What's going on, guys? Jordan here, coming back at you again with another episode of Beer Reviews. Tonight, we're going to be reviewing the Winter Grind Coffee Stout by Mother's Brewing Company. Mother's Brewing Company is a local brewery here in Missouri. They are out of Springfield, and I've reviewed a couple of their beers before. Actually, I think I've reviewed 3, and never really had a bad beer from them, so always been pretty impressed. Really cool looking bottle, although first issue I have is they don't have the ABV on the bottle. The ABV is 6%. I just looked it up online. I actually had already started the review and realized that there was no ABV on the bottle. And I thought that I had remembered seeing it, but it was on the website that I had seen it from. So this is a coffee stout, 6%, and this is a 12 fluid ounce bottle. And actually, something I just discovered while I was looking up the ABV on this beer is it says that this beer actually has caffeine in it, which is kind of odd. I know it's a coffee stout. Usually, there's little to no caffeine in coffee stouts, but this one does apparently. So, I don't know if caffeine and alcohol really mix all that well. You know, with the whole Four Loko issue that they had back in the day, they made their stuff, they took the caffeine out. But we're going to crack into this and see what we got. Try not to bend the cap up too much. And I've completely destroyed the cap. Well, I guess not. We'll get a smell real quick out of the bottle. Put this bottle opener back. Very sweet smelling. You smell the coffee. There's it's almost a roasted, chocolatey, malty coffee, really. It smells really good. Let's get it into a glass and see what we got. All right. Working with about 3 fingers of head, khaki colored. It's like my snarls in it. Not as much aroma coming out of the glass as I did the bottle. Definitely get the coffee though. Pretty dark too. Hold that up to the light, see if we can see through it. I cannot see through this beer. That is dark. I even held it up to my lights. Hold on. Let me brighten my lights up here, see if I can see something through it. Very little. Very, very dark. Very dark. So, Winter Grind Coffee Stout by Mother's Brewing Company. Let's dive in. Cheers, guys. You get the coffee. It kind of tastes like coffee if you had sweetener in it. If maybe you had a little bit of sugar in it. Maybe you had some type of creamer almost. That's pretty good. It tastes a lot like coffee. I'll be honest with you. It has it's got a little bit of a bitterness to it, like a coffee bitterness though, not like a hot bitterness, like a roasted coffee bean type bitterness. A little bit of lacing on the glass already. Excuse me. already had 2 natural lights before this. So far pretty good. I've also let this warm up a little bit because, you know, you get more flavors and aroma out of the beer, out of a stout if you let it warm up a little bit. So I gotta try to bend this cap back a little bit for my collection. That'll do. So, like I said earlier, I really like the design. There's like a dog. What's it holding? Coffee thermostat. That's pretty cool. But I do like the bottle. That's going to be going over here in my collection. I've literally had to get extra space for all my bottles and cans. The collection is getting out of hand at this point. I'm like a hoarder of beer cans and beer bottles. But back to the review. So it's sweet. It's a little sweeter than I expected it to be, although I like my stouts to be sweet. It's very forward on the coffee, I will say that. But it's got it is exactly what it says it is. I noticed that Beer Advocate gave this an 88, which is very good on their ranking scale. What do I give it? If you guys know me, you know that I love stouts. Stouts are one of my favorite, probably my favorite style of craft beer is a stout. Imported stouts, milk stouts, chocolate stouts, coffee stouts. If it's a stout, chances are I'm going to like it. And that's no exception here. I like this beer. I think it's a pretty good beer. Now, is it a stout that I will seek out and aim to get? Probably not. There are other stouts that I enjoy more than this. I will say that this was $8.98, by the way, so the price is a little over $9 for the 6-pack. So the price is actually pretty reasonable with this for what you're getting for a 6% beer. But it's a little forward on the coffee. It's like, I get that it's a coffee stout. I've had coffee stouts in the past, and you get the coffee. It's kind of subtle, but it's there. This is very, very forward on the coffee. It's probably the most coffee flavored coffee stout that I've had, and I've had a few of them. And this one's really out there. Not saying that that's a bad thing. I mean, that's what they were aiming for with this. If you're a coffee drinker, which I used to be, I no longer am. If you are a coffee drinker, you're probably going to love this if you like beer. As far as rating, I gotta knock it a point, or knock it whatever, for the fact that they do not put the ABV on the bottle. I've been sitting here talking about them not putting the ABV on the bottle, literally been talking about the label, and it's right there by the dog. Right there. Right here. 6% ABV. It's on the bottle. It's literally on the bottle. Well, that's my bad. I did not see that. I don't know what I was thinking. I was looking in all the wrong places. But it's right there by the dog. I was literally just talking about the dog with his thermostat of coffee in his mouth, and I did not see that it had the 6% right there. So, my bad, Mother's Brewing Company. I did not see that. So, they actually do have the ABV right there in plain sight on the bottle. I guess I'm just blind and didn't see it. So, with that being said, the ABV is on the bottle, so I'm not going to knock it points for that. Like I said, it's a little coffee forward for me. It's still a good stout, not my favorite. Beer Advocate gave it an 88. I think I will have to agree with them, but my scale is just a little bit different. It's 1 to 10 instead of 1 to 100. So mine, I'll agree with Beer Advocate, and I'll give this an 8.8 out of 10. Here at Beer Views, that's my rating. So, essentially, 88 out of 100. Still a very good beer. It's just not something that I would probably pick up again. There are much better stouts out there than this. And another thing is, I don't know how much caffeine is in it. I don't even know if it would be noticeable, but I'm not a caffeine drinker. Me and caffeine don't mix well. And alcohol and caffeine sure as hell do not mix well. So, but that's besides the point. I'm not judging it for that reason. I'm judging it for the flavors alone. And 8.8. That's what I'm going to give it. So thank you guys for watching. If you guys enjoyed this video, be sure to give me a thumbs up. If you guys have any suggestions on anything you would like me to try in the future, leave it in the comment section below, and I'll do my best to try to find it and give it a review. As always, until next time, cheers. Thanks for watching.